You're watching WJLA 24/7 News. Good Morning Washington. On your side.
Well, as restrictions continue to ease with more people getting their vaccines, offices across the country are reopening their doors after a year of remote work. But many employees would prefer to remain at home full time. So joining us with how to start that conversation with your boss is Dr. Margie Warrell, author of You've Got This, The Life-Changing Power of Trusting Yourself. And Margie, it is great to have you back on the show. It's certainly been a while.
It has, Melanie. It's awesome being back in the DC area.
That's right. Well, first, let's talk about all those people not wanting to return to the office. What steps should they take when they're speaking to their boss about going full time at home?
Sure. Well, I think it's important to realize that you don't get paid by the hour or for the hour, but the value that you bring to the hour. So put yourself in your boss's shoes, think about what their concerns would be, and speak to what those concerns. Like, for instance, they may be worried that you're going to miss out on those water cooler conversations, that you're not going to be as productive, that you won't be part of the culture. So you need to arm yourself with examples and make a compelling case for why you will be an even more valuable employee if you stay working remotely.
And when preparing yourself, is speaking to your accomplishments while working from home, would that be something good to bring to the boss's attention?
Yeah, absolutely. Arm yourself with examples of how you've managed through the pandemic, but also recognize that as others come back to work, you staying remote is going to maybe put you at a disadvantage. It's no longer everybody remote. So you need to be able to explain why you staying remote when others may be returning is going to ultimately be good for your team and your organisation. But I also think it's really important to stay open-minded, stay flexible. It may be that you'll end up coming up with a hybrid arrangement, which is where I think we're going to land with a lot of people, that it's not all or nothing. It's not a binary arrangement, but that people will come in sometime so that they can have those personal touch points with employees, with their colleagues, because they make a real difference in terms of building culture.
So be a little flexible there with your boss. What about all those people who will be returning to the office? They're going to be undergoing quite a transition. How can they make that easier?
Yes, and studies are showing a lot of people are feeling pretty anxious. And I think it's important to recognise that if you've been at home, that you might actually feel a little bit homesick going back. I mean, our worlds have shrunk a little bit over the last 12 months. And so just going back and doing those things that were once so common that you didn't have to think about will feel a little bit uncomfortable. So one, just expect that it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe it's going to feel a bit weird, but give a couple of weeks and you'll feel a lot easier. Likewise, just notice yourself, what your thinking is, how you're feeling. Stress internalizes in the body, and often we suffer more from our stress and anxious thinking than we do from what we're anxious about. And I think many people will find that, the anticipation of what it might be like will be causing more angst than when they actually just get back. And it's why we know that people who've been working in the workplace environment, even part-time over the last 12 months, are less anxious about going back full-time because they've kind of sensed it. It's okay. It is okay. It's not too risky. Mm-hmm. So I think try and reduce the unknowns, maybe talk to your boss or HR, do a test run and take some of those unknowns out of it.
So true. And, it's really not much different from other transitions like kids going back to the classrooms or if you've been on maternity leave, coming back to work. So it's just a change. And I guess we should expect some ups and downs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a little bit weird at first. And I do think of it when my kids were first starting school or going back, and you take them in the day before to familiarise them. This is your room. This is where you'll put your bag. And so when people are kind of going, well, are we going to get, in terms of, is there going to be a temperature check on arrival? What's the protocols? Just go in and do a test run. It starts to remove some of those unknowns. And as you see other people, it's interesting. Catching up with colleagues is a stronger motivator for many people going back than getting FaceTime with their boss. So connect in with your co-workers and have some fun with it. Be light and try and just sort of give yourself some space and give yourself time to ease back into it. Don't necessarily have to go back all at once, but, work up in increments.
I love that. And I'm a big list maker, so I'll probably be making lists of everything I need to do, everything I need to bring, and what time I need to do it. So thank you so much for talking with us today. Always a pleasure. Dr. Margie Warrell. She's the author and host of the Live Brave podcast. And you can connect with her at margiewarrell.com. Thanks, Margie.
Thanks, Melanie. I'll see you soon.